I'm a rock star. Every day I rock hard. I'm a motherfucking rock star. Every day I rock hard. I'm a rock star.
Hi Rockstars, I'm Aly, your Rockstar bar girl, and I am coming to you today from the beautiful, peaceful Martha's Vineyard, where my husband and I vacation every summer. I just wanted to record a little video for you guys because you guys keep coming to me with this question. The question is, are tattoos and piercings acceptable in the hospitality industry? And more specifically, should I, the new bartender, be covering my tattoos or taking out my piercings before interviews or in order to get work? I started getting tattoos when I was 18 years old. I have a few piercings that are pretty noticeable, but tattoos are really more my thing. Between the ages of like 18 and 24, I thought I was going to be becoming an attorney. So all of the tattoos that I got during that time were strategically placed. I probably have about 25 tattoos, but most of them you can't see because I knew that I would be in a courtroom or law firm environment where tattoos that are visible might not be super allowed, and I didn't want to have any issues. So all of my, or the majority of my tattoos are still between like my neck and like my upper thigh. When I left law school and I decided that I wouldn't be going into the legal field and that hospitality would be my industry, everything changed. And every tattoo I got after that was in a visible location, around my neck, on my arms, on my hands, on my ankles and my feet. And I have to take that into consideration when thinking about how that might impact my ability to be employed. What I will say is hospitality is definitely a more casual industry than a lot of other fields. It's not uncommon to see bartenders dressed in jeans and t-shirts. It's not super uncommon to see bartenders with no uniform at all. Here on the vineyard, your server will probably be wearing like khaki shorts, a tank top, and flip-flops. So it's a very casual environment. But obviously there are parts of the hospitality industry that are way more formal, way more buttoned up, and that might not be as eager to hire somebody with visible tattoos, visible piercings, or colorful hair. We can even throw like colorful hair, mohawks, and all of that into this conversation, because those are still things that for whatever reason employers look at when deciding whether or not somebody has the right look for their establishment. So hospitality is definitely far more open. It's going to be a lot easier for you with your tattoos or your piercings or your purple hair to get employment. I've had purple hair I think 3 times now, and I've never been unemployed because of it. So definitely hospitality is far more open to tattoos and piercings and just alternative appearances and ways of dressing in general. That being said, it's not a complete free-for-all, and each individual establishment is still going to have some rules and limitations on what they are comfortable with or what they are looking for. So one thing that I like to do before you even go out and interview, sometimes I Google a location and look it up before I even bother applying. But if you're just looking for work, apply, 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 apply liberally. Apply everywhere. But once you get called for that interview, it would be a good idea to stop and take a moment to research that location. Find out if it's a fine dining establishment or if it's more casual. You might be able to find on Yelp pictures of the bar, pictures of the drink, pictures of the staff, which will help you to decide whether or not you think this is a place that will be open to your tattoos or your piercings. Once you find out what type of an establishment a particular bar or restaurant is, I'm not saying that you're going to need to, like let's say for example you find out that it's a fine dining establishment. I'm not saying that automatically you've got to take out all your piercings and cover all your tattoos just to go on the interview. But I am saying that you might want to bear in mind that could come up as a topic on your interview, or could be something that you might want to tailor for the interview. So if it's something that you can easily cover or can easily remove for your interview, then you might want to do that. And then at the interview, you can ask your interviewer at the end, when they ask you, do you have any questions for me? You can say, actually, yes, I do. I have a number of tattoos. Are you okay with wearing short sleeve shirts where my tattoos are visible? Or I have a nose piercing, which I didn't wear today, and I am okay with not wearing for my position, but I prefer to wear it. Is that okay? So you can handle it that way. But the bottom line is that hospitality is a more casual environment. It is an environment where you're more likely to find alternative manners of dress and appearance. And so will you be able to find bars and restaurants that are okay with your hair color, your piercing, your tattoos? More likely than not, I would say yes. Now that I've said all that, let's talk about your specific situation though. Because even though it might be easier to find establishments that are okay with tattoos and piercings and hospitality, it doesn't mean that all places are accepting. And you might be limiting the world of places that you could qualify for by only looking for places that would accept your tattoos and piercings. If you are just starting out, I would encourage you to do as much as possible to keep your options open. And you don't want to be looked over or turned down for a job because of a tattoo or a piercing. Do you? I mean, maybe you're okay with that. But I feel like the whole reason why you're watching this channel, the whole reason why you're trying to become a bartender is because you have bills and you are trying to get employed. And so it's like, do you really want to struggle to pay your rent at the end of the month because you're like so attached to that nose ring? I don't know. So I'm not saying that right now, today, in order to be a bartender, you've got to go and take all of your piercings out or anything like that. I'm not. But I am saying that when you start interviewing or things like that, that you might want to consider taking them out just for that afternoon or for that day, and find out after you've secured the job, after you secure the bag, whether or not they'd be okay with you doing that. I know it feels like it means the world, and it probably does mean the world to you, but at the end of the day, you can't pay any bills with it, and you might be able to pay bills without. So you've got to really consider like whether or not that tattoo or piercing is so important that you're willing to be out of work for longer or find less lucrative jobs, all for the sake of having it. So the question of whether or not tattoos and piercings are okay for hospitality is yes. But the question of whether or not tattoos and piercings are okay for you in hospitality is a little bit harder to answer. So do your research. Make sure you understand what type of environment you're walking into so that you can tailor yourself appropriately for the interview. And then once you've gotten the job, once you've secured the position, then you can breach the topic of what is acceptable in terms of your tattoos and piercings. If it doesn't work for you, you're always welcome to go another way. But if there isn't another way, let's say this is the first job that you've gotten after an exhaustive search, you might want to make whatever accommodations are necessary in order to get the job. And, keep in mind that you have forever in front of you, right? You have the rest of whatever your life is going to be on this earth to get tatted and pierced, and those things cost money. So why don't we secure the bag first and then worry about the tattoos and the piercings later. I'm 32. I am not as tatted up as I would like to be at this point, but that's okay because I'm employed. So if you have any other questions about tattoos, piercings, alternative hairstyles, alternative dress in the hospitality industry, just go ahead and drop a line down below and I'll be sure to get back to you. If you liked this video and you found it helpful, and I certainly hope it was, definitely make sure to go ahead and click the thumbs up below. And don't forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at rockstar_bargirl. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, Rockstars.
I'm a rock star.